Hey guys, Vinnie here, and I'm here to answer your questions that you guys put up on the Tackle Tactics and Z-Man post that they put up a couple of days ago. So I've had Rob come up to do some filming, and you guys chucked in some really good questions. So what I'll do is I'll go through them, I'll read them out first, and then I'll get into answering them as best as I can. So number one off the Tackle Tactics post was Paddle Angler. And I think I might know who that guy is. Anyways, he said, hey Vinnie, I would be keen to know your 3 go-to Barra presentations and where you might use each presentation. Also, what is your favorite Barra structure and how do you fish it? Cheers. Right, 3 go-to Barra presentations. We'll start off the top and work our way down. Number 1, surface lures. So surface walks like the Bagley finger mullets, frogs, hard legs frogs. I really enjoy those guys, and the pop frogs as well. Those guys early morning, late afternoon, obviously when it's surface water tends to work better, and with that as well, calm water. So pop frogs, finger mullets, yeah, I'd run those guys when the water's really glassed out. I'll probably lean towards the hard legs frogs when you get a little bit of chop on the water, because they gurgle a lot more and make a little bit more noise. So that'll be number 1, because I like catching Barra on surface. Number 2 presentation, plastics. So I really like the paddle tail plastics for Barra on a slow roll, simply just because the bite is so intense. When you're slow rolling that plastic and a Barra buffs it, that's really direct, because you've got constant contact with that lure. Where I'd use that, that's a wide range, whether I'm fishing parallel to a bank, weed beds, even on the flats, fishing snake drains, and even side fishing fish. That sort of paddle tail plastic presentation really comes into play there. So that's sort of a wide one. I could talk about that one all day long. Third, certainly not least, would be twitch bait, shallow hard bodies, like the Bagley minnow bees that we've got. Those guys, again, shallow water applications, drains, mud flats, sand flats even, and fresh water as well over the weed beds, because they're really buoyant, so you can rip them right into the weeds, let them slowly float back up, rip them back down again. And they're good in the snags too, simply because they've got that buoyancy. So if you do bump them into a snag, you can pause them, give a bit of slack in your line, and let them float back up out of the snag, and then reel it out. Favorite Barra structure? Well, that's a tough one, because I like catching Barra's my favorite fish to catch, so I catch them anywhere. I'd probably have to say, a favorite would be standing timber snags, just because you're fishing in really tight country, and you've got to really turn those fish and move them out straight away. So I think that covers everything in that one, mate. Thanks for the question. I hope you got something out of it. Right, next question is from Luke, and this one was on the Z-Man Instagram page. His question is, what is the best plastic to use and your top 3 pro-cure scents in living in the territory and starting to go fishing regularly? So would love the help. Cheers. Right, so the best plastic to use in the territory, if I had to take one plastic up to the territory anywhere through the north there, it'd be a Pearl 3-inch minnow. The reason why, with the pearl colour, that sort of represents probably most of your bait fish biomass. That 3-inch size is a good bait fish size, so your potty mullets that you get up there, prawns, that sort of stuff. So it's a good profile, so it's not going to be too big and in their faces, but it's also not going to be too small that they're going to ignore it. So if I had to pick one to take up to the territory, mate, definitely be a 3-inch pearl minnows, and I'll match that up with snake locks in a 1/4 ounce and 3/8 ounce weights, and with them run them on the 3/0 hook. That 3/0 hook just sits real nicely in the 3-inch plastics. Right, scents. I've been asked this a lot. Personally, I don't use them that much. If I was going to pick one scent, pro-cure scent to take up to the territory, it'd be mullet. Again, match it up to your bait. And I think mullet's sort of broad spectrum bait fish that gets eaten up there. If I had to take a scent up there, I'd definitely do that. It definitely would come into play on slower days, where your bite slowed down and you really want to slow down your presentation. I think that covers all of that, mate. If you got any questions or whatever, absolutely shoot me a DM on Insta, and I'm happy to help you out. Right, next question. This one comes in from Hamilton. And the question is, how can I get into barra fishing? At the moment I'm just doing kayak and from the beach / lake, and I was wondering what type of gear I should use and where to catch them. Well, that sort of depends on where you're living, to be honest. What we can do, if you're into kayak fishing and beach fishing and lake fishing, you're already 3/4 of the way there. Like, you can catch some great barra off kayaks, you can get great barra off the beaches and that sort of stuff. So it's going to be sort of more related to your demographic, you know, whether you've got barra close to home or whether you're prepared to travel. In that, as far as your gear goes, jump on the Tackle Tactics webpage. There's a ton of links there to YouTube videos with a heap of free information, which will give you a really good overview of what different guys across the country run for chasing their barra. Personally, I run both spin and bait casting outfits. Bait casters, there's one that I've got that I've just been running today. So this one's got a new reel on it, Saros rod, so 6'6" sort of rod, running 20 to 30 pound braid. Leader wise, you'll be looking at that sort of 40 to 60 pound, depending on where you're fishing for these fish. So if you're chasing impoundment fish, yeah, definitely bump that leader size up to say 60 pound, simply because they're bigger fish, so they're more likely to inhale a lure fairly deep, and when they jump, their raspy teeth will rub through thinner leaders. Yeah, so I'd have a look at that. Yeah, lure selection, that's also again sort of location specific, you know. So if you're chasing, you know, smaller size fish on flats and drains and that sort of stuff, you'll be looking at say 3-inch and 4-inch plastics. Again, going to impoundments, you know, sort of specifically targeting bigger fish, yeah, your lure size is going to increase because you're trying to mimic bigger bait fish sizes. But yeah, again, yeah, definitely jump on that Tackle Tactics website. There's a heap of information in there that'll definitely help you out. Right, next question. This one comes in from Logan, and it is, what is the best lure and scent to use on jacks? Right, so just like I mentioned before, I don't think scent is that critical versus lure selection. Probably for the guys down south, yeah, I'd probably look at scents down there because the water is a lot more pressurized down there. Scent wise, the way that I would choose a scent for a certain body of water that I'm fishing is look at what's your most predominant bait around. So if it's prawns, then go with the shrimp flavored procure. If it's mullet, bait fish, that sort of stuff, then yeah, obviously go with the mullet. Best lure, yeah, I'll come back to that 3-inch minnows again. Just, I reckon it's probably my pick of the lures out of there, just because of that profile, and jacks are sort of inclined to eat smaller things than barra would. With the 3-inch minnows, rig them weedless, right? So I could probably let the cat out of the bag on this one over here, and these are the new snake eyes that have come out. So what the guys at TT have done is they've incorporated the big eyes into snake locks, right? So these guys are going to come in a range of colors. So I keep moving it around. They're going to come in a range of colors, and I think 3 or 4 different sizes, correct me if I'm wrong there. Different weight sizes, so 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce, and I think 1/2 ounce. Like I said, don't quote me on that. And then 3/0, 4/0 and 6/0 hook sizes, I think. So what's going to be cool about these guys is the fact that you can color match your head up to your plastic. Okay, or you can contrast it, you know, if you want to try and create like a hotspot in your bait. So like a so yeah, definitely these guys are going to get released I think the first week of October. So yeah, keep an eye on the socials. They'll pop up there as soon as they're good to go. But what you can do with these guys as well, just to bling it up a little bit more, which I really love doing, is sticking an HD jig spinner onto it. Then you've got a virtually like 100% snag proof thing. Those jacks really respond well to those spinning blades on those HD jig spinners. So yeah, best lure in my opinion for chasing jacks would definitely be a 3-inch minnow rigged onto the snake eyes or the snake locks. And then yeah, like I said, if you want, bling it up with those HD jig spinners, and yeah, they'll definitely go and catch you some good fish. Right, last question. This one is in from Gareth. And what are the best colors for day and night fishing, also dirty water? So that covers pretty much every single fishing scenario that you'll have to get around. If I had to choose one color, if someone said to me pick one color to go and fish for barra with, it'll be pearl, 100% without a doubt. And if I can't get my hands on pearl, it'll be white. So that white pearly color, absolutely 100%, that'll work for you at night time. So because your bait fish is that color. 90% of your bait fish biomass is going to have some element of pearl, white, or silver in it. So yeah, if I had to choose one color, my opinion, what's the best color, especially for chasing barra? 100% pearl or white.